Hey, welcome back on day 2 of making a construction paper mask. Today we're going to start working on the eyes, and let's take a look at where we left off from last time. As you can see, last time we've got our glue set together for our nose and our mouth. Please take off the paper clips. We're going to use those again later when we do hair. So slide those off, give them back to Mrs. Foxen, and we'll take care of those for next time. Alright, let's go ahead and start working on our eyes next. Please start out with a sheet of construction paper. You only need half. So I went ahead and got a half sheet of construction paper, and I'm going to start off by folding this in half. Take that half sheet and fold it in half. So you've got a half sheet that looks like this. We're going to start off by making an eye shadow. Here are some ideas to get you started. The eyeshadow doesn't get noticed, like that's not something that gets noticed right away. So don't worry about like making your eyeshadow perfect. You just need a color to go underneath the white part of your eye just to cause a little bit more interest and color to your mask. So I went ahead and I took my sheet of paper and a pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and start working on one of those shapes. I'm just going to go ahead and start out with my unusual shape. So I'm going to pencil that in, making it as large as I can to fill up that half sheet of paper. Okay, and again, I'm not too worried about making it perfect. It's not something that gets noticed right away. So I've got my shape. Now I'll go ahead and take a pair of scissors and cut that out. When you cut it out, I'm cutting out 2. When I open it up, I want to open it like a page in a book so that it's symmetrical. Nice scraps, save those for later so we can use those for decorations for our mask. But I'm going to take this and use that as I open it up to glue down onto the eyes for my mask. I'll use my glue bottle, place a little bit of glue on there, stick that down. Again, keep your eyes in the middle of the mask shape. You want it placed right in the middle. Not too high because your hair is going to cover over that and you don't have a whole lot of space down below. So please place your eyes in the middle.
Okay.
You can hear Quinn in the background. She's helping me make my masks today. And then there's my other eyeshadow shape for my eyes. Pretty cool. It looks like sunglasses right now, but at any rate, we're going to go ahead and continue. You'll notice when I'm working on my mask, I always leave it open like this. I never fold it down and squish it because I want my mask to remain a three-dimensional object. The more I squish it together like this, it becomes flat again. And I don't want my paper to be flat. I want it to look three-dimensional, so I always work on my mask like this. I never sit it down on my table and start smashing things down onto it because you're going to end up having a flat mask rather than three-dimensional. So, So now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the eyes for my mask. I'm going to begin with a piece of white paper and fold that in half. Once I folded that in half, I'm going to draw an eye shape. Okay, now one of the things that I think about is making my eye shape plenty big enough, because if it's too big, I can always cut it to make it smaller, but if it's too small, then I have to start over. So I'd always rather have it too big than too small. So I even cut it bigger than what I drew, okay? As I open it up, I'm just going to take a look, see if I want it to be smaller. Actually, I think I like that, but if you want to make it smaller, you can always cut that down. Glue, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. So, dot, dot, not a lot of glue on that. Place that down. Okay. Dot, dot, not a lot. Place that down. Great start to my mask. Looking pretty nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take some brown paper. I didn't have brown construction paper at home, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the closest thing that I had. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a circle.
Okay.
And cut the circle out. Now your construction paper is going to look a little bit better than mine. It won't have those lines on it, but I'm just improvising and doing with what I've got. I'm going to go ahead and use this now to make for the color of my eyes. Now I'm going with brown today because my mask is going to have lots of colors on it. And so that's not something that I'm too concerned about getting a bunch of different colors, because then I've got the colored part of my eye, and now I need the pupil. The pupil's not going to be very big. So as I take my black sheet of construction paper, I'm going to do the same thing, folding that in half, drawing out a circle. Now that I've got my circle, cut that out and gluing that down onto the brown part of the eye. These eyes are looking very dramatic, very colorful, very bright, very attention-getting. Okay, I love these masks. I think that they look so awesome when they're done. Okay, once we've got the eyes put onto our mask, oh, what a great looking start. Great. We're going to start talking about our eyelid next, okay? The eyelid shape for our mask.
Can I have glue, please?
Sure. When you work on your eyelid, you can go ahead and use that second sheet of paper that you had, that other half sheet, or you can use any color that you want. It doesn't really matter. We're going to be doing 2 eyelid layers. For our first eyelid layer, I'm just going to go ahead and start with green, but again, you can use another color, but you don't have to. It's up to you. As I fold the paper in half, I'm thinking about now an eyelid shape. This is going to be a 3-dimensional shape as well. So I'm going to take it and make a curved line here. Bring it up, and again, I'm drawing lightly because I want to make sure that I like the line before I darken it up. Once I've drawn my eyelid shape, nice and large, it looks something like this. This is my eyelid, the part that covers over part of my eye. I'm going to cut that out because I've got it folded in half. I should get 2 of them. And again, just like every other part of my eye, I'm going to open it like a page in a book. So I've got it on one side. And I want this to be the center of my eye, so I'm going to open it like this and set that down. They're flat. Okay, they're completely flat. How do I make them 3-dimensional? How do I give them a little bit of shadow underneath that eye shape? Well, I take my construction paper and I'm going to, it's almost like I'm thinking about bending the paper and creating a fold, but I'm not folding it. The paper's wrapping it around to the other side, and my thumb inside is creating a bend in the paper. And as I drag it through a couple of times, it's remembering the fold. Okay, so when I put that down right next to the other one that's flat, you can see it's 3-dimensional. Okay, my one that's not been rolled, the other one that has. I can put my fingers underneath there and it creates a shadow. It makes it 3-dimensional. Awesome. So now I'll do the same thing to the other side, and I'm thinking, okay, which way does it need to roll? This way. We want to have the rolls going the right direction, so I just leave it on the table first. Wrap that around like this. Okay, now I've got a 3-dimensional eyelid. I'll use my glue bottles, and similar to how I did my nose, I'm going to be placing the glue on the rim of the eyelid. It's okay if you have too much glue. It'll dry clear. When I place it onto my mask, do not worry about every part of the glue touching the mask. My only goal right now is, as I set it down, that someplace it's sticking, okay? It's okay if it overlaps there, but as you can see underneath my mask, there's a little bit of space that's not touching the mask. All right, there's a little bit of air pockets through there. Not a big deal. Just as long as somewhere the glue is touching the mask, okay? So once it does that, that's an area that it's going to set up. Don't touch it anymore. In a minute.
Okay.
So when you put your glue on, I'm placing plenty of it on. It'll dry clear, not a big deal. Placing that on like this. And then, as I set it on, do the same thing. I'm going to set it on here, and as long as it's touching the paper somewhere, I'm not going to touch it anymore. I'm just going to let that glue set up. I'm not even concerned about any glue that's oozing out the side because it's going to dry clear, and I'm going to put another color on top of it. So that is not a huge concern. Right now, I'm just worried about that shadow underneath my eye and that somewhere the glue is touching and it's not going to move. I'm just going to leave it. Okay? If I want to glue on some more pieces, do that next time. Okay? I am just worried that I just want to worry about getting that shadow placed on, and it's where I want it. Okay, if you have any extra time for today's class period, you can always start working on facial decor at any time while you're letting these dry. That's enough for today. Thanks for watching.